Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks as always for tuning in. So I'm in London today at Waterloo Station, just pulled in. It's Friday morning and I'm off to Spitalfields Market. First time ever there, been wanting to go for many years to the record fair there. So come along with me and we'll see how we get on. So just come out of Bank Station, I'm just about to walk down here. It's about a quarter of an hour walk away. But as always, I like to take a little video of my surroundings. You know, I do like coming to London. This city gets, I think people are a bit on the fence with it sometimes, or you could say they either sort of love it or hate it, but I do enjoy coming here. It's always a good walk, plenty to see and do. So, shouldn't be too long now. Right, so I'm early. As usual, I'm early. I deliberately early because I want to get there. And not be rushing. The intention was to have a nice coffee beforehand, but there's record stalls over there and there's people looking in them, so I might see if I can actually go in and get away with doing this. Let's see how we get on. Obviously some footage will follow. Right, so previously I said I think it's open early. Yes, it was advertised from 10. I turned up early. It was all set up and open, which is great. I'm just going to give you a little guided tour around. So, I've been to Spitalfields Market a couple of times before. There's the usual stalls, and got some jewellery there, loads of street food, blah blah blah. But this section is purely today for the records. I have to say, it is a lot. There's a lot more stalls than I was expecting, an awful lot more stalls. I haven't quite finished yet, but what I've got so far, I've done really, really well. Surprisingly well. I'm finding the prices very reasonable, to be fair, and the selection and, variety of genres, it's all over the place, really. It caters for everyone, which is great. At this stage, it's February and it is undercover, but you may as well just be outside. And I'm freezing, I can't feel my fingers. So I think soon I'm going to have a break, have a coffee, and just return for another half an hour to see if I've missed any stalls. What I'm finding, and this is only me personally, this is not a criticism of the fair, is the fact that I keep losing my bearings. I keep wandering down these aisles thinking, oh, hello, I haven't been down here, and I've just been, I start flicking through a case or a crate, and I've already looked through it. But that is just me. That's not a criticism, that's just me. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, so that's me all done. That was really good. That was good. And a good haul, as you will see. Yeah, I thought it was a really friendly vibe in there. I think what's good about it, what attracts me, is the fact that it is on a working day. It's a Friday. I know it's the weekend, but it's still a working day. And whilst it's busy, it's not actually too busy. Sometimes these fairs on a Saturday or a bank holiday or wherever, you're fighting to get in the stalls, and they seem to sort of do a good trade there, but it was very easy to get around and look at everything. I think I sort of looked at every stall, as I said earlier. I kind of lost my bearings a little bit in there. It's sort of where the stalls they all look quite similar. It's difficult to sort of know what you've looked at, but I think I managed it all. The only thing I would change, and this is a personal thing, this is not the fault of the fair, is that I would not come in the winter again. It's freezing today, it's really cold, and flicking through those records with gloveless hands was challenging. I couldn't feel my fingers, and I tried to do it with gloves on, and that just doesn't work. You just can't do it. So I'm going to go on now, put my gloves on, and we will then cut to wherever I am next to show you what I bought. Right, so I'm back home. It's the next day. It's nice and warm. The heating is on. And I think I've just about got the circulation back in my fingers after that very cold record fair, but it was a great one. So I'll give some final thoughts on that in a second. So, right, straight into it. Let's show you what I bought. I'll try and do these in order of how I picked them up. Okay, to start off, a couple of cheapies. Got the Davy by Dutch prog band Exception. I've seen this one a lot over time, but this was only £5. I've never seen it for that cheap, and the record looks nigh and unplayed. It's on Philips. It's a Dutch one, Dutch issue. I don't think this ever came out as a UK issue. I don't think it did. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. So just a word I forgot to say just at the start. I haven't played any of these. It's only the next day. I got in last night and kind of chilled out. So I didn't actually sort of play anything. These will be cleaned and played. So keep an eye out for my shorts and my weekend spins. I'll talk more in depth as and when throughout the year. I do know Exception. They play a kind of organ-driven, it's interpretations of other people's material, whether it be sort of jazzy stuff, classical stuff. It's a bit like, it's a bit like the Dutch version of the Nice, I suppose. But yeah, interesting, and absolutely lovely copy, and just for £5. Nice condition. We've got flip back sleeve, little bit of damage there, but a little bit of wood glue and a clothes peg will tidy that right up. So yeah, that was a good start. From the same seller, and this was only £3. Now, this is one I haven't got. I've talked about this band and this artist before. Utopia, sometimes known as Todd Rundgren's Utopia. The album is called Oops, Sorry, Wrong Planet. It's from 1977. I don't know why I haven't got this one. I know it. I've known about it for years, but just never bothered to pick it up. But it was there for £3, so I thought, why not? So yeah, and it's not uncommon at all. I have to say, this sleeve, I love it when the way bands from the 70s looked, and sometimes on certain albums, they look cool, they look amazing, or there's a good photo. But this, I looked at it yesterday when I got home, and I'm like, what? I mean, look at them. What have they been smoking? Look at the state of them. It is kind of rabbits in the headlights, isn't it? That's the back cover, and that is absolutely fantastic. I love that. I've never actually seen that before because I've never observed the back cover. But it's when I got home, it kind of made me chuckle because I'm just like, oh yes, yeah. Look at the state of you lot. Brilliant stuff. What a bargain. So now we've got a few heavier hitters. Now, this was a complete and total bargain. I was a bit shocked when I pulled this out and looked at the price. Now, I paid £30. I paid £30, so it's pricey. But when you see what it is, and you'll immediately see why it was priced low. Okay, it's the Idle Race. I haven't got this one, and I've heard bits of Idle Race, but I've never owned it. I've never heard this album in full. Ouch, yeah, we've got a sticker scab there, but it's not horrendous. It's all intact. I mean, it's a fragile cover anyway. We've got a bit of spine wear, but apart from that, it's not that bad. Now, I saw £30 on it. You can also see at one stage it was 99p. It was probably 99p in like 1979 when you couldn't give these away. I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is going to be knackered. This is going to be knackered. So there we are. Decker in a sleeve, that'll come in handy. That doesn't belong on this, but so that's a pristine Decker in it. That will come in handy. It's on the Blue Liberty label, and I dug it out. Maybe played once. There's one spindle trace. You can still see flashing around the spindle. It's near mint. And I was like, well, despite the dealer said, oh yeah, priced very low because of that tear. I'm like, but the record is absolutely, you wouldn't find a better one than that. And considering I saw another copy for well into three figures, and I've looked on Discogs and they go for triple what that is. I think, despite that cover tear, I got an incredibly good deal. I really think that was priced well low just because of a cover tear. And obviously, I'd rather it wasn't there, but it's not the end of the world. So for that price, for this rare album, it's fine. Idle Race, psychedelic band. You've got the most famous member there, of course, Jeff Lynne, who went on to join The Move, and then obviously The Move morphed into ELO. But I know these are very, very highly regarded, these records. As I say, I haven't played this one yet, and I haven't got the other one. Actually, there's two. There's three Idle Race albums. There's another one on Regal, isn't there? But I don't think it's almost like not the same band. But I'm very chuffed to get this, and despite the cover issue, in majorly good playable condition. That was an amazing find. I don't know how no one else snapped that up. It's amazing. From the same stall, bit of a punt on this one, but it was only £4. The Peddlers. I heard the Peddlers, or a song by the Peddlers, for the first time a couple of months back. I was re-watching with my wife the series, the very successful and popular and great TV series Breaking Bad. And a song came on because they've got a good soundtrack. I Shazammed it, and it was the Peddlers. And I'm like, right, make a note. So I've been after some Peddlers. The song I heard, which I can't quite remember what it was called, but I did look it up yesterday while I was at the stall. Not on this album. I don't know. I mean, the song that I did hear was kind of a loungy, jazzy thing, so I don't know if that's their thing. I don't know. But I took for £4. It's. I just took a punt. You know, if I don't like it, it's not the end of the world. But so I can't really say too much about this one. It's in pretty good nick. There's a few hairlines, but when it's that cheap, yeah, I can afford to take a risk for £4 because that's, for any record, that is cheap these days. So now we go on to some further hard hitters. Now all these next four were all from the same stall. Now I recognise this particular stall, and I only recognise it from their price stickers because they use quite large printed price stickers, and they put a flag on it from where the record was pressed. So you see a lot of Union Jacks and a lot of Stars and Stripes. And normally when I see this stall, they're regulars at the VIP record fairs, the one I've been to in November. And normally, I have to say, I find this stall very, very overpriced. I don't tend to use them too much. However, these records were priced very nicely, very, very sensibly, I thought. So let me show you what I bought. First up, we have got Terry Reid's The River. Now, this came onto my radar. I'm going to give a couple of shout-outs here because I've seen this shown in the VC very recently 3 times. Terry Reid has been talked about. I recently subscribed to Mr. Shelf Stacker. I'll say a recent subscription. I don't know how I've missed his channel all this time because his taste and knowledge of music is so interesting. You know, we've got quite a lot of similarities here. But I was watching one of his vids. I don't know if it was a very recent one or whether I was just going through a bit of backlog. But he showed this record and he really raved about it, and it kind of stuck with me. Terry Reid River. And then fast forward a few days, we have a video by Chris, the Suffolk Record Collector. Again, great channel, brilliant, always shows great stuff. And he talked about Terry Reid. He didn't show this record, he showed the record after. I can't remember what it's called. It's a kind of black and white portrait. Looks a bit singer-songwriter-ish, but I think he was raving, saying it was a lot better than the cover suggests. So immediately I'm like, ooh, I need to look for Terry Reid. I think I even saw that Noble Records was showing a video with this. I didn't watch the video, but it was in the thumbnail. It was this, and I was like, there it is again. And lo and behold, it's here. I was like, brilliant. Terry Reid, The River, 1973, I think his second album. Has to be mentioned, his most famous claim to fame as the man who turned down Led Zeppelin as their vocalist. He could have been the Robert Plant. Jimmy Page wanted him, but as I understand, he either signed up or was, really wanted to give his solo career a go. I don't know if he has any regrets about that. I mean, he certainly wasn't as big as Zeppelin. I don't think any bands were as big as Zeppelin, were they really? But I've never heard him. I don't know any of his stuff. I'm looking forward to playing this, but I can't, a lot of you will know what it's like, but I can't tell you. I mean, he's going to be a good singer if Jimmy Page wanted him before he discovered Planty. So, and this is an exceptional copy. Look at that. Look, it's lovely, sharp corners, hardly any spine wear. It's on Atlantic and it's barely played. It's absolutely as good a copy as you will find. So it was kind of, when you just think, you hear about these things and then they turn up immediately. It's almost like it's meant to be, because to be honest with you, if I hadn't have seen these other fellow YouTubers, great YouTubers, talking about Terry Reid, I don't know if I'd have bought this. I really don't. I think I might have passed it up. So this is what it's all about, isn't it? This is what the VC is all about, influencing. Right, here's an interesting one. I nearly flicked past this. This was on my wants list. I can't say too much about the music on this. I know I've read it's a very strange prog record from Finland. It's one and done. Hot Thumbs O'Reilly. It was originally released in Finland on, I think, the Love label, same as Wigwam, but for whatever reason, it was licensed to Charisma Records. And it's on the Mad Hatter label. It's got one of those plastic sleeves, you know what the Charisma label looks like. Hypnosis gatefold sleeve that opens out. This is a rare album, but I did not pay much. And just nice to find in the wild. But as I say, I sort of was flicking through, and I was like, did I just see that? And I had to go back, and I'm like, oh my God, pulled it out. Again, it's absolutely exceptional. You've got sharp corners. And the record's barely played. Absolutely amazing. Okay, next up, this is another one from my wants list. I was like, oh, great, brilliant. I've been after this for so long. Admittedly, I've been after a UK press of this, and this is a US press. This is the Inset Trust. From memory, I think they did 2 albums, and this is the first of the 2. It's on Capitol Records. Now, what it does come with, that I don't think the UK pressings do, is gatefold sleeve. It's what we call, is it a Unipack? There it is. Yeah, you slide it in the centre. They're called Unipacks. I'd be helping if I did it the right way up. They're called Unipacks. For years, I always called them Beatles for Sale style sleeves. That's how I always called them. They were Beatles for Sale sleeves, because I think that's the earliest one I know of that you insert the record in the middle. But again, I haven't played it yet. I know it's a late 60s folky psychedelic affair. Not too easy to come by, not mega rare, but and it's on this Rainbow Capital label. Again, beautiful, beautiful. And finally, actually not finally, no, this is the second to last one. There was one last one. I got this. This was there for a very, very reasonable price. Cover is a bit warm. It's not too bad. If you look closely, actually don't look closely, I'll just bring it to the camera. Can you see that? Someone wrote the price again on this, and they wrote on it was once 62.5 pence. Now, people of a certain age in the UK will remember half pennies. I can just about remember them as a kid. I think they were phased out in probably 1983 or something. 62, what a random price, 62.5p. Might as well just make it 60. Anyway, I paid more than 62.5p for this. Very good. Never see it. When you do see it, it goes for really, really big bucks, this one. But it's on Blue Horizon, and despite the sleeve being quite warm, the record looks, again, unplayed. It's absolutely not a mark on it, no spindle wear. It looks as good as new. So yeah, this is blue. This is going to be blues. It's on Blue Horizon. This is going to be a bluesy album. An awful lot of people backing him. He's got tons. He's got where there's a horn section on here, female backing vocals. It's like a who's who. Bass guitar, Herbie Flowers. Well, that'll be good. I love Herbie, the late great Herbie Flowers. So yeah. So hopefully this will be a good one. But yeah, it's just nice for the collection. Topham, original guitarist for the Yardbirds. And the final one, which I spotted, it was just before I did my final thought, which you would have just seen. And I saw this one in a sort of random box. There was a random box for one dealer, and it was just kind of no order to it. And it was kind of just cheap and cheerful soul records. And I sort of didn't know any of them really. But in the front of the box, I clocked this one straight away. It's Isotope, Jazz Rock Fusion. And I said to him, there's no prices. And I said, how much is this? He said, oh, if there's no price sticker, £3. I was like, oh my God, I'll have it straight away. It's in nice condition. Very nice. I've seen it around. It's a £10, it's not mega dear, but it's £10 record. So for £3, you can't get anything for £3 these days. These days, can you? You can't buy a pint for £3. I measure everything in pints. So yeah, lovely. It's on the Gull label there. State the inner sleeve, but I'll take the Decca in it from the Idle Race, and that can be used for this. But yeah, fantastic. I've only heard Isotope. I've seen clips from the old Grey Whistle test with them on, and it's just great kind of jazz rock fusion. You are talking sort of a similar vein to Soft Machine, Nucleus, that kind of thing. The guitarist, I think, Gary Boyle, his name is. He seems to be the main man in it. He's incredible. I always remember, a very distinctive look on his face. Always looks like he's got really concentrating all the time, really frowny. But yeah, just a good early 70s jazz rock fusion. Yeah, up my alley. So I think you'll agree. Excellent haul. That was brilliant. That fair was excellent. I really, really enjoyed myself. In fact, I would go and I can hand on heart say that was one of the most enjoyable record fairs I have ever been to. I really, in hindsight, it's the next day and you look back at it, it was absolutely great. It was nice and chilled, busy without being too busy, spacious, great selection, bargains galore, collectibles galore, something for everyone. And you've got the beauty of having loads of street food stalls there, loads of refreshment stands that are usually there in Spitalfields. So that was great. I didn't have anything to eat there, but I sat and had a masala chai tea. I think it's a type of tea. It's like a spiced milky drink, hot drink. I remember, sat and had a break and had it. And I wish I could have filmed it because they poured it out of a big urn and they sort of poured it into a cup from a height. I think they call it aerating. And it was one of the nicest hot drinks I've ever had. It was so spicy and warming. So yeah, it's the little extra things like that are a complete bonus. Sorry, I'm digressing into food. And they were dog friendly as well. They were collectors. They were their dogs. So basically, you can go to Spitalfields, have great food and drink, records and dogs. I mean, what more do you actually want? Seriously. So I highly recommend that. I had a great time. As I said, I personally wouldn't return there in the winter because it was bitter. I would imagine it might be problematic in the height of summer. So when I go back, and I will go back someday, I will certainly consider doing it in the spring or the autumn. But it is brilliant, easy to get to, free to get in, near Liverpool Street Station, near Moorgate Station and Bank. It's yeah, nice and central and very regular, twice a month. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this. So do stay tuned, because my London trip does have a part 2. I am going to stagger these videos. I didn't just go to Spitalfields. There will be another one coming up soon. So do stay tuned. Do hit the like and subscribe buttons. I will be talking more about these records as and when I listen to them. And in the meantime, thank you as always for tuning in, and take care of yourselves.